The Three Little Pigs. Once there were three little pigs. They set out into the great big forest to look for a nice spot to build homes. The first little pig gathered up straw to build his house. Swish, swash, swish. The second little pig gathered up sticks to build his house. Plickety, plackety, plick. The third little pig gathered up bricks to build his house. Ploppity, cloppity, clop. The first two pigs finished their houses in no time. They said to the third pig, "You're working too hard. Why don't you come play?" But he kept right on building. Clink, clonk, plop, swack. Finally, he was all finished. He relaxed by a warm fire in his safe and strong house. One day, a big bad wolf came to the straw house of the first little pig. He could smell a kettle of soup, and it made him very hungry. He said, little pig, let me in." But the first little pig replied, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." With a swoosh and a whoosh, the straw house blew away. The first little pig jumped up and ran all the way to the second pig's house. The next day, the big bad wolf came to the house of the second little pig. He could smell a fresh loaf of bread baking in the oven. He said, little pig, let me in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," cried the second little pig. So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." With a gust of air and a crack and crash, the steakhouse fell to the ground. Both pigs jumped up and ran all the way to the third little pig's house. When the third little pig heard about the wolf, he was glad his brothers were safe. He said, "You must be hungry and tired. Sit down and have some pie." The big bad wolf came to the third pig's house and smelled the pie. He said, little pig, let me in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," cried the third little pig. So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He puffed and blew with all his might, but the brick house wouldn't fall down. So he gruffed and snuffed and blew again, but the brick house just wouldn't fall. The wolf had never had this happen before. He sat down on an old log and began to cry. The third little pig said, There, Mr. Wolf. You don't have to be so sad. You have a remarkable talent. You can use your talent for better things than blowing down houses." "I have an idea," said the third little pig. "Listen." Outside the woods, they heard the sounds of children laughing and playing. It was the local fair, and everyone was going. The three little pigs and the big, sad wolf all went down to the fair. "Here's a wonderful way to use your talent," said the third little pig. With a huff and a puff, the wolf started blowing up colorful balloons. Shh! All the children came to see the fun sizes and shapes. The wolf was happy and amazed to have so many new friends. He wasn't bad or sad anymore. He was the big, glad wolf. While the big, glad wolf huffed and puffed, the first little pig sold straw baskets. The second little pig played the fiddle, and the third little pig sat peacefully under the shade of an oak tree, smiling.